What is going on, good people of YouTube? I say that and there's no viewers on right now. That's cool. That's not a big deal because we're going to build out some slips and we're going to talk player props regardless. So, as always, I hope whenever you start to watch this, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. We're going to go over some plays. I guess the only thing that's going to change is if we don't get any viewers on the stream. I can't take any questions. So maybe we just build out more slips and maybe we just dig a little bit more in the research. But live stream, it's going to happen no matter what. So let's get this going. As we always say, as we always do on every live stream, #blessed. Just be thankful you woke up. Over 10% of the US population does not wake up. So they're not blessed. You are blessed. Make something of your day. Don't know what that is, but make something of your day. What could be better than waking up? I don't know. Maybe playing on better is better than waking up, but you can't play on better unless you wake up. So #blessed again. First time deposit match up to 250. Listen, Betr runs great promos and usually has a couple of them to go and pick from. But yesterday's promo that I played was the Ohtani over total bases. That one did not work out. He was 0 for 4. Struck out 3 times, 0 fantasy points, 0 hits, 0 bases. Just an all-around ugly day for him. Robbie Ray put it on the Dodgers yesterday when he exited the game. I believe he was at 8 strikeouts. So Robbie Ray put it on the Dodgers yesterday, no doubt. But the Ohtani play was, I thought it was a good play. I thought it was a good play. Didn't end up being a good play. So outside of that, you can typically find pretty good promos on Betr. But if you're not on Betr, if you're only playing on PrizePicks or if you're only playing on Underdog, definitely consider taking on another pick'em site because the more you have access to, the better your plays are, for sure. Speaking of better plays, I don't know if anybody saw my YouTube short yesterday that I posted. It's been a while since I put up a YouTube short, but created a YouTube short and just went over 3 plays that I liked on the board that I took from the odds jam optimizer, which is what we'll be using today to dig into some plays, try to find some value. But I covered 3 different plays on PrizePicks, Underdog, and Betr. So on PrizePicks, talked about the under on Justin Steele's pitcher fantasy score. He finished under that. Talked about the over Brenton Doyle on Underdog, his 7.5 fantasy score. He finished with 29. And then the only play that didn't work out for us was our Betr pick, and that was Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I thought that correlated really well with his promo, 0.5 total bases, and obviously that didn't work out. But 2-1 with those 3 plays that were given out in yesterday afternoon's YouTube short. So if you want additional plays on top of what we're doing in the live streams, be sure your notification icons are on so that way you don't miss out. It's a quick video. It's a 59 second just quick overview. Here are 3 quick value plays that I like for today. Boom, that's it. You can play them if you want. You can put them in a slip, but really it's just designed around to give you more options, especially on days like today when right now at 9:13 a.m. doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on. Maybe more opens up in the afternoon, and that's why it's important to have those notification icons clicked so you don't miss out. All right, so I guess let's we're already on the Odds Jam Fantasy Optimizer. We can just start looking at some plays, figuring out what's available to us. It may not be a ton, to be honest with you. There may not be a ton, but we'll do the best we can with what we got. So here we are on the Fantasy Optimizer, checking out PrizePicks plays. First play that's popping up is this League of Legends kills under 14 for Unforgiven. Just one data point on this one outside of PrizePicks, so not a lot to go on there. Jonathan Cannon over pitching outs. This looks a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points. I like that one to kick things off. I don't know if we have enough to build out a 5-pick. Corbin Burns over fantasy score, or excuse me, under his fantasy score. It worked out yesterday with Justin Steele. We got 3 different books that like the under on this one. Okay. And then we have this CS2 play. This says REIX, but when you pull it up on PrizePicks, his name is actually Remix under 27.5. You got 2 data points, 3 data points really, but you got 2 pick'em sites that are giving you 24.5, where his line is set to 27.5 on PrizePicks, so that's a little too high. So we got 3 plays right off the bat. I mean, you could run with these 3 plays and put them in a power. It is just the 5x, so it's not a big payout. Let's see if we can find at least 2 more plays that we can add to this slip that won't completely mess it up, because these next 3 plays are fine, but they're not considered plus EV. Plus EV is going to be the green squares that you see. But with the percentages after we add a couple more, it just could end up being a plus EV slip, even though all 5 plays aren't plus EV. So Severino going over 29.5 pitcher fantasy score. You have 3 data points that like the over. All 3 of them have him going over 31. His line is set to 29.5 today. The over on this one looks good. Sam Stevens under 69 strokes. No human being should ever endure 69 strokes in a lifetime. 1 is enough. But in this instance, we're talking golf. So non-health related strokes, 69.5 is the line. So -150, -155 on FanDuel and DraftKings to go under 69.5. So that's a huge number. Tells you that him going under 69.5 isn't a 69. It might be closer to 68, maybe even 67, which is why you see the under on this favored. So anytime you see a number that big, it's indicating that it's off by a couple of numbers, not just by 1. So if he finishes with 68, goes way under all 3 of these lines. If he lands on 69, where there's always a chance of him landing right on that number, then it is a push. So if we add that one to the mix, that gives us 5 plays. With those 5 plays, we have a 4.79% chance to hit. It is a 1.05% EV, which is not great. It's not terrible. And then we have our next play. If we wanted to go a 6-pick, we got this esports CS2 Jumbo under his headshot. So I just need to make sure that this is not on the same team. Bounty Hunters, Supermassive, and then Passion UA. So on PrizePicks, when you try to put 2 players from the same team, it will not let you it will not let you post that slip. I had to think about that one. Underdog will reduce your payout. So both of those are bad. Neither one of those is good. So you definitely don't want to reduce your payout. That's like working your normal hours at work, but they're going to give you $100 less in your paycheck. You know, that you don't want that. So on PrizePicks, you got to make sure that people from the same team aren't on your slip. Otherwise, it won't let you play it. So when we add a 6 play, this is now a 2.5% chance to hit, 0.36 EV. So honestly, just from a plus EV standpoint, I'm going to take this guy out. I'm going to take Jambo out. And we're left with this. So the cool thing about OddsJam is that you really don't have to go back to PrizePicks and enter these. If you just click bet, it should redirect you to a new tab. It'll open up PrizePicks for you. If you're doing this on the mobile app, then it'll just redirect you to the PrizePicks app. So it's pretty nice the way it syncs up like that. And we're gonna have to move this dude out, Jonathan Cannon, because his pitching outs just got bumped up to 16.5, which is where every other pick'em site had it. So it's no longer a valuable play. So we're gonna take him out, and then we'll go back and see if we can put this Jambo guy in there. And I want to make sure it was under 14.5. All right, so Jambo under 14, Severino over, Burns under, Remix is under, and Sam Stevens is under those strokes. Tell you what, we're just going to put 5 on this one because it is not the strongest lineup due to the limited options we have. But we just built out a 5-pick using the OddsJam optimizer. Pretty diverse. We got golf, baseball, and esports in there. One slip down. What's going on, La Liga? Let's cash out together. Yeah, let's cash out. Travis Peterson, what's up? What's up, sir? What's good, Yee? Glad y'all are here. Appreciate y'all being here. We just built out a 5-pick. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Just built out a 5-pick on PrizePicks. It's still on the board. So Stevens, Remix, Corbin Burns, Severino, Jambo. So let's see if I can do that. That's the link to that one. Yee said, I would throw in Kadui for League of Legends. Really good for the over 14.5. Let's see if we can just, I hope it's still up on the screen. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. So we just go back and reuse the lineup that we had. And then we'll search Kadui. League of Legends, not CS2. And you said over 14.5. I wonder if that's on OddsJam. Some days, honestly, because the value just isn't there, some days your slips aren't always going to be plus EV. It doesn't mean that they're not going to hit. It just means that they're not as strong of a play, to be honest with you. But there are days where the value just isn't there. There's really not a whole lot you can do about it. These dog days of summer are legit because we're really just down to one major sport. Right now, it's baseball. I mean, there's no WNBA right now with the Olympics going on, right? So we're not even playing WNBA. It's MLB, it's esports, it's PGA, it's tennis whenever there's tennis available. So but we just got to like keep scratching and surviving. Good times. And then before you know it, the NFL is here, and then we're back. We're back. And at some point we'll get so fucking tired of the NFL that we'll be done with it, and that's just how it goes. But at some point you know, we'll have what, 4 major sports going. We'll have WNBA ends in September. MLB is closing out in September, but playoffs are looming. NFL is in full swing. The NBA kicks off in October, so we missed out on that. But you still have esports, so you have 4 major sports that you'll be able to pick from at some point within the next couple of months, that's so good, right? Then in January, you got NFL, NBA, esports, whatever, man. Like, those are the 3 big ones, right? Well, 2 big ones. I'm gonna throw this slip in there. All right, so these slips, just built out these 2 slips. You'll have to copy and paste these in your browser because StreamYard does not let me post hyperlinks. It's all good. It's all good. All right, let's see what else we can find. That was PrizePicks. Anybody playing on underdog? We'll pull up some underdog value here on the board. Remix. Not that great. Let's see. Dylan Cease under his pitching fantasy score. Sometimes these pitcher fantasy scores can be off by a lot. Oh, there's Kadui. Got him going under 13.5. We took the over 14.5. Hopefully this is wrong. Logan Webb under 30.5. Munoz over 3 earned runs. That's a lot of earned runs. So they have him giving up 4 earned runs to the Orioles. And ZMB under his 13.5. You got 2 data points there. That is that's underdog. I want to look. Okay, so Dylan Cease under fantasy score 38.5. Let's pull up props.cash. I want to dig into that one for a second. But before we do that, I can guarantee you this Juan Yepez over 0.5 hits is nowhere on the pick'em site. Sometimes in the props.cash blogs, a lot of these plays they give out are found on books. So you're not going to find this on PrizePicks. Anything minus 175 to the over, you're not going to find on any pick'em site. I'm pretty sure of that. But if you can find this Juan Yepez over his hits, I mean, he's gone 15 games straight with a hit. Lou Severino, we got the over on his walks here. Man, he's averaging, damn. Over his last 15, he's averaging 2, almost 2 here, head to head. 2.5 walks here against the Braves. Chris Bassett going over his 5.5 strikeouts. If you want to play this, I'm pretty sure you could probably find this one. I don't know about the Lou Severino one, but you should be able to find Bassett across the industry going over his strikeouts. Brent Rooker. I just sold a Brent Rooker autograph rookie on my eBay channel. That one just sold yesterday. Hope everybody's morning's going good. Hope your morning's off to a good start, especially if you got the day off. But Brent Rooker over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 145 to go over. I don't know if you're going to be able to find that one on a pick'em site. Gunnar Henderson over total bases. Well, it says under in terms of odds, but let's see what they have to say here. 51% hit rate. Solid matchup versus Munoz. So we just looked at Roddery Munoz's over 3 earned runs on underdog. If you feel that Gunnar Henderson could be a part of all that, then the over on his total bases would correlate really well with the over on Munoz's runs. You would have to play them in different slips, but that's one way you can correlate your slips, is by picking players against each other, but you'd have to do it in different slips. I mean, sometimes when there's not a lot of value on the board, you have to look into the correlation. You have to get a little creative with your slips. But yeah, these are some plays that are available through the blog on props.cash. Let's log in. Let's take a look at Dylan Cease today, because his 38.5 fantasy score, have him going under that on underdog, but I want to figure out why. Dylan Cease plays in San Diego now. It's the first game on the board. I think game starts in like 2 hours. Early start today. All right, Dylan Cease. So if you want to look at his fantasy score at 38.5, we'll have to figure out what this all adds up to. So based off his odds, 7 strikeouts is in play. That's 21 points. Pitching outs, 18. Let's say he goes 18. So 18 plus 21 is 39. Not projected to give up a lot of earned runs. I mean, if he gives up 3 earned runs, that's 30 fantasy points. He'd qualify for the start. He'd qualify for the quality start bonus, so that's 34 fantasy points. Then he would need to get the win to get 40. Now, if Dylan Cease only gives up 2 earned runs, then we were at 39. So then 39 minus 6 is 33. He gets the quality start. That's 37. Dylan Cease's fantasy score is at 38.5. So in order for him to get the over this, which is 39, he has to give up fewer than 2 or fewer earned runs. He has to get the win, the quality start, or he has to go out there and strike out 9 batters, something like that, to make up for earned runs or something. This might be a good play. Sometimes when you look at the projections on a player right off the bat, it looks good. Like, oh shit, they're going to have a good day. They're going to go over. You start doing the math. You start breaking it all down. You start adding and subtracting, and you realize that, man, these books are pretty sharp. They're on top of this already. So under Dylan Cease, 38.5 fantasy points looks good. Looks good. Even if he just gives up 2 earned runs, okay? He still has to get you 7 or more strikeouts, and he has to get you 18 or more outs. If he fails to get you 7 and he gets you 6 against the Washington team, that is a pretty strong team versus right-handed pitching, not striking out a lot. If he only gets you 6, he's not going over this fantasy score. Definitely not. So 7, if there's a chance for him to go over, he needs 7 strikeouts. So you're asking for a lot. So 38.5 seems a little high. I think taking the under on that one makes sense for Dylan Cease. See, pitcher fantasy scores are tough, to be honest with you. On OddsJam, what really stands out to me is when we get multiple data points like this. Sometimes it's just one data point, and it just means that that's the only book that's taking action on it. But the more books that are taking action on the play, the better. So 3 books want action on this one. 3 books think this is where his line should be, in that 36 range, like literally 36. And now you have underdog that's pricing it 2.5 points higher. So the value is in the under on this one. So that one does make sense to me. Let's see, Logan Webb versus the Dodgers. Munoz over earned runs. Let's look at Munoz, because I saw in the chat that La Liga, you took the over on his strikeouts. It's only at 3, right? Or what is it at? Let's Let's figure this out. All right, so Munoz is not on PrizePicks. Let's look at underdog real quick. So on underdog, he's at 4.5 strikeouts, and they're giving you a 1.1 increase. So they're basically saying that that's a demon play. It's likely to not hit. So let's look at his strikeouts real quick. Versus the Baltimore Orioles, who are not striking out a ton versus right-handed pitching. Not any BVP to look at. It's gone over this in 4 out of his last 10. This game is at home, so let's look at his home stats. 2 out of his last 5 home games. And that's it. That's all he has. So coming into this game, Munoz is a 0.84 strikeouts per inning guy. So based off that math, he has to go over 5 innings, which means he has to get you at minimum 15 pitching outs to have a shot based off that math. So you can see here, he went over to pitching outs with 18, and then he also got over on strikeouts. Here, he got you 5 strikeouts, and he went 5 innings. The other 3 games in between, 3, 3, and 2, and he goes 4 innings, 4 innings, and 4 innings. So this is kind of adding up, right? I mean, it's literally adding up to 1 strikeout per inning. So I feel like if he can get you 5 innings today, 5 strikeouts is in play. The longer he goes, the more upside he has for strikeouts. In the event he gets pulled early at 4, he probably won't reach 5. His earned runs, he's projected for over 3 on underdog. That means he's projected for 4, basically. 4 seems really high. In these games where he got pulled early, he gave up a lot of runs, right? This one, he didn't give up a lot of runs, but he still got pulled after the 4th inning. These other 2 games where he went over strikeouts, he only gave up 1 earned run. In the event he can keep the earned runs down, it's going to extend his time on the mound. So if he's only giving up 1, maybe 2 earned runs, you should see him out there for 5 full innings, which gives him upside. But the 4 earned runs, you have to, if you're playing the over 3 earned runs on underdog, like right here, I mean, he has to give up 4. I mean, then that means you're expecting a really big day from Baltimore. If you're going to get a really big day from Baltimore, it might be easier just to target their bats in a separate lineup. So the only, well, not the only one, but the one that I like was this Dylan Cease under his pitcher fantasy score. A lot of things factor in the pitcher fantasy score. A lot of things. Like if a batter is having a bad start to a game, like if Marcell Ozuna starts off 0 for 2, they don't pull him out the game, right? He's going to get at least 2 more bats. So he has 2 opportunities to get a hit or whatever. But if a pitcher's getting rocked out there, or if the manager feels like they're just all over his pitches, they'll just go to a reliever. I mean, long gone are the days where starters are lasting 7, 8 innings. You don't see that shit anymore. Or if a pitcher has like soreness in their elbow or some shit like that, they just get pulled. So a lot of unforeseen things happen when it comes to pitcher fantasy score. It's a little tricky. So we got some new plays in here. You have Manny Machado over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. This is on underdog. What does Betr have? If you guys aren't playing on Betr, really consider playing on Betr. Use my code. Scan my QR code or click the link. But Betr has Sometimes Betr has better plays. They definitely have better promos. They got this cool Leon Edwards promo where he only has to last 30 seconds. His total fight time was set to 24.5 minutes. The promo is 30 seconds. So unless he gets knocked the fuck out in 30 seconds or knocks the other guy the fuck out in 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, he's going to go over this. So that's probably one of the better promos you'll see. 30 seconds for Leon Edwards. I'm going to be playing that in a slip, no doubt. You got a $10 max on that, so you can maybe put 5 on 2 different slips, or maybe just put all 10 on one slip. Well, however you want to do it. I don't give a shit. But that's available on Betr, so play that one. That's a good one. All right, Chris Bassett. We just saw Chris Bassett over 5.5 strikeouts from the props.cash blog, and now it's on Betr. So Chris Bassett over his 5 strikeouts. You can look to that one. That one looks strong. Let's see. Brian De La Cruz under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. 4, 5, 6 data points here. That one looks strong. A couple of MMA props. Bruna Brazil under her 1.5 total takedowns. Not a lot of data points on this one. Unless you really, really know MMA and watch UFC, you have a beat on one of these, fights. It's hard to find multiple data points. A lot of books don't really take a lot of action on these props. Certain props, yes, but not all of them. So I would say play your own risk with those. Here we go. Mountcastle over single. Colt Keith over single. We're getting a lot of overs. If you like playing overs, if you're an over player prop person, Betr is a good spot for you too. Betr plays a lot of plays for the over. A lot of good spots for value here over on Betr. Let's see what's going on, Mark. Oh, for real? Nice. Look me up on eBay. No one's ever asked for my eBay channel before. Let's see. I'll give you my seller name. I don't think there's like a link or anything, or is there? Here. There's my eBay. Yeah, I've been collecting cards since I was like 7. I don't have all of them. I have a lot of cards from when I was like 12 that are still in pretty good shape. None of them are worth getting graded, to be honest with you, but just the fact that they didn't fall apart, pretty cool. Yeah, but check out the store. Oh, nice, man. Yeah. I got 3. I sold 3 cards this morning. I sold Brent Rooker auto, Clinton Portis auto, and then a Shohei Ohtani Unleashed. It's like from the Don Russ base set, but it's a Rapture variation, like $1.50 or something like that. Trying to get some of these graded cards moved out. Those are the big ones, but it's much easier to sell the $2, $3 cards than it is the $50, $60, $70+ cards. What's going on, JR? Santander, 1.5 total bases. We looking on PrizePicks? If you're just joining the stream, scroll through the chat. I posted 2 links to the 2 slips we built already on PrizePicks. They're pretty much the same. My dog is coughing up another dog. They're pretty much the same slip, except we added 1 more esports play. So the first 5 are the same, and then that's 6 play. Oh, okay. So Santander is a demon prop at 1.5 total bases. So we just talked about Rodri Munoz and how Underdog had the over on his 3 earned runs, meaning they're projecting, Odds Jam is projecting him to give up 4 earned runs, 3 at the minimum, but 4. So I said, you know, we talked about his strikeouts. If you like his strikeouts, then he can't get rocked early. He can't give a bunch of earned runs early. And he has to go 5 innings to have a shot at 5, because he's basically a 1 strikeout per inning guy. But it might be worth it to play another slip with some Baltimore bats if you feel like they get after his ass a little bit. We talked about Henderson. Now we're going to look up Santander. So his hits, his total bases at 1.5, they're a demon play on PrizePicks for good reason, because the odds are very, very heavily in favor of the under on 4 different books. But he is coming up a 7 bases game. I'm sure he hit a home run in that game, right? Yeah. There we go. So unfilter the home split. So 4 games in his last 10, he's gone over this line. On the road, 4 games out of his last 10. So he's 4 out of his last 10, no matter how you slice it. Right? Away, 4 home. Or away, 4 out of 10. And then just altogether, 4 out of 10. So he is on the road. There is no BVP versus Munoz, but his numbers against right-handed pitching: 21 homers, batting .250, 12 doubles, 2 triples. So any one of these gets you the over his total bases. It is a demon for a reason. So just know that the odds are stacked against the odds are in favor of the under. But who's going to get it done on Baltimore? When we look at their numbers versus righties, if Munoz is projected to give up a ton of runs, you got guys like Henderson, Westberg that mash righties that are striking out. I mean, 19 to 21% is not great, but we've seen worse. We've seen players in the 30s, right? O'Hearn smashing in there, 11.4 K rate. And then Santander is right there, 250. I have this Ryan O'Hearn. It's not a autograph though. I wish it was an autograph. Sometimes you get these rookie autos or rookie cards, and some years pass by and you don't hear about them, and then they end up on another team, and then they're just better. Like Jaron Kelenic, starting off in Seattle, now he's in Atlanta, just having a better stretch in Atlanta. Ryan O'Hearn started in Kansas City, now he's in Baltimore, playing better. Sometimes part of being a collector is just being patient and just putting your cards away and not looking at them, because that shit takes time. It takes time for players to mature and to come into their own. You start throwing a bunch of cards away too soon. Yeah, man. So yeah, I have a bunch of cards that I've been sitting on for years. It's like, oh, some of these guys are starting to make a name for themselves now. Let's see if we can sell them. Yeah, anyway, so a lot of Baltimore bats are in play. I say 1 through 4, maybe 1 through 5 with Mountcastle. It's going to be tough for Munoz to get through. But yeah, Santander over total bases is a demon prop. We've seen this happen before. We've seen like the first two batters do something, then the guy that we pick goes, you know, out there and strikes out, and then the very next guy hits a home run, gets a 3-run homer or some shit like that. So we've seen this happen. If you can possibly make a stack with some of these Baltimore bats on PrizePicks, I don't know, on another pick'em site, that might be worth a slip just to stack a few of these different guys and see if you can build a good correlation. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I used to drive to the post office whenever I had a card to drop off, and then I didn't realize that the USPS will just come pick that shit up. So if it's a graded card, I'll just throw it in my mailbox and they'll come pick it up the next day. But like today, I got 3 of them, so I'm just gonna go to the post office. Sometimes I'll walk down to the post office and get my steps in, but yeah, it's, and I didn't realize there's a drop off in my apartment complex just for normal mail. So like all my, you know, eBay envelope cards that I send out, I was driving to the post office. I could literally just walk 100 feet down the hall and just drop it. I didn't even know that shit was there. So yeah, all because of eBay. Where do I get my cards graded? Oh, for sure. I haven't gotten graded cards in a while, but my first set was through SGC, and then I did PSA. The first time I did PSA, they were doing that whole waitlist shit, and you had to like, it was a timer like every Thursday, and then you just glued on, you just sitting there looking at the website, and as soon as that timer hit 0, you hit the button, and basically it was first come first serve. And they were grading them for $18 a card, which is really good. And then the next time I did PSA, they dropped it down to $15 a card. So those cards that I got graded for $15, the ROI on those is higher because I didn't put as much money into them. But so Travis Peterson, what'd you say? I was one hit away from a $500 demon slip last night. Still cashed it for 75. Profit is profit. Yeah. That's why I look at so okay, so that's why when I build out a 6-pick, that's not good correlation. That's terrible correlation. Let's get Taj out of there. Let's throw Gunner in there. Will it let me do that? Yeah. Okay. So that's why I look for this. When I build out a 6-pick, and so this is the big advantage that PrizePicks has over a site like Betr, because on a 6-pick slip on Betr, you're only going to get a 1.5x when you get 5 out of 6. You get 6 out of 6 on Betr, it is only a 20x. PrizePicks still offers some of the better payouts, even on a 6-pick like this. I always look to what I would win, because the chances of you going 5 out of 6 are greater than you going 6 out of 6. That's a fact. So you look at the payout for the 5. What does that look like? Chances are you're probably going to get this over this. In the event you get a 6 out of 6, that's awesome. But you have to be comfortable with 5 out of 6. So if you're going to put 20 on this slip, all right, you're going to get a 2.75x payout. 2.75 times 20. So that's a $55 payout. So that's a pretty decent return on your investment. You have to be comfortable with this. Don't just look at the 6. Obviously, you get 6 out of 6 right, you're going to get $520. But if you're not comfortable with going 5 out of 6, if you're not comfortable with that payout, build a slip. Build a slip until you're comfortable with it, because the worst thing in the world is to go 5 out of 6 and have basically there's a really good slip and then your payout is terrible. So just pay attention to this. I always pay attention to this. More times than not, you're gonna miss one. I mean, it's hard to go 6 for 6. When you go 6 for 6, that is a major deal. That's a big deal. Yeah, that the one play away sucks. It happens a lot though. All right, let's it's so funny. I put that Vladdy Guerrero under his fantasy score. I didn't even know he was a plus EV play over on OddsJam. So I just want to refresh the screen. Let's see if we can build out another slip. Keep throwing your plays in the chat. We can look them up on props.cash and then see if we can find them on PrizePicks or Betr. Now, Betr is a mobile app, so that's why you don't see it on the screen. Yeah, there's just not a lot of value today. That's okay though. That's okay. Out of the major 3 pick'em sites, for me at least, Underdog is offering the most value today with their slips, with their plays. You may not like all of them. That's okay. Sometimes when you like your slip too much, it chalks hard, right? Oh, I love all these plays. They're going to go over, whatever. Sometimes it's the slips that you're like not sure about. I don't know about this one. Little uncertainty. Sometimes those are the slips that provide the most profit. So you don't always have to feel great about every play that you pick, but I would just say make sure your research is sound no matter what you're doing. Just apply the same research that you do day in and day out. It's like the day you make a shortcut and fall asleep behind the wheel and don't pay attention is the day you lose money. All right, let's go back to PrizePicks. Any other plays we can look up on in the chat? Betr will be a lot better if it had a search option. Damn, I didn't even realize it doesn't have a search option. Well, Betr, there is a lot of adjustments to make on Betr. They need to add WNBA in there for sure. They haven't gotten that down yet. I guess the search option is good. Their promos are great. Their promos across the industry are some of the best you'll find. Weekly promos, almost sometimes daily promos. Remember during the finals, they ran the same fucking promo every game. Kyrie over points, Edwards over his points. I mean, those are easy. Those are automatic wins. Not too many pick'em sites are doing that. Better's coming up. Better's coming up for sure. All right, let's see. La Liga, are you in my Discord? How do I private message you? Make it easy for me. Where do I find you? So we can talk cards. Ozuna over 0.5 home runs. All right. Well, I tell you what, if you're feeling extra risky, you can start off a slip with these two demons. We go with a plus EV play that we already know is grading out well, and Vladdy under his fantasy score. Corbin Burns under his fantasy score. Corbin Burns versus the Marlins, who strike out a good amount. Oh, nah, I'm gonna stay away from that one. I'm gonna chill on that one. There's Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease under 38.5. He is on PrizePicks. Let's go back. Now, he was grading out better on Underdog, but so remember the thing about Dylan Cease, the matchup versus the Nationals is not a great one because they're not a heavy strikeout team. Dylan Cease has to get you 7 strikeouts today. Dylan Cease has to go 6 innings or more. And Dylan Cease has to not give up more than 2 earned runs in order for him to go over this, because if he gives up 3 or more, there's no quality start bonus. If he only strikes out 6 batters, there's -3 points right there. If he doesn't give you 18 innings or 18 outs, that's 1 less point. And all that shit adds up. So when you factor in all the things that have to go right for him, I think 38 is a little too high. Plus, we have a lot of books that like the under on this one as well. DraftKings, Caesars, and Bovada see this all around 36 to 37. PrizePicks has it at 38.5. Gunnar Henderson over fantasy score. Now, this kind of does not correlate with the Roddery Munoz. If you were picking the over on Roddery Munoz's strikeouts, then this one is not going to work out for you because we're looking at the over on his fantasy score. It's still possible that he goes and gets you 5 strikeouts and Gunnar Henderson still goes over. But in the event that Gunnar Henderson is directly responsible for a few of those runs, 2 of those runs, 1 of those runs being scored, that's negative correlation. So let's look up Gunnar because we're already in this game. So when we look at his fantasy score, we're just going to add up a few different things. We're going to look at hits, runs, RBIs, walks, steals, anything that adds points. The great thing about fantasy score over on PrizePicks is that they don't take any points away from you. So there is no negative. It's all positive, which also results in them inflating the shit out of their lines because there's nothing like if you strike out, you don't get negative points for that. So with the good comes the bad. So when we look at his hits today, he's projected for just 1 hit, -244 for the under. On his hits, runs, and RBIs, it is slightly over. It is possible for him to go over hits, runs, and RBIs and only get you a single, or only get you a hit, I should say. Now, getting 1 hit doesn't mean that it's a single. It could be a double. It can be a home run. It could be a triple. Total bases will give you a clear indication. Today, he's projected for 0.2 home runs, just 1 home run in his last 10. He has 2 RBIs in his last 10. He has 4 runs in his last 10 games. -150 to go over runs. Walk is in play and a stolen base. No. Walk is 2 points. Run is 2 points. There's 4. Yeah, a single only gets you 7. Just doing the projections on this one, it doesn't look good. However, his numbers against righties are great. 300 batting average, 22 homers. He's in a similar spot as Santander, except he has a better batting average. He has a better ISO and he has a better WOBA. WOBA. So all around, he's just in a better spot than Santander. Leading off, so he should get what, 4 at-bats, 5 at-bats? What's he getting on the road? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where he's gotten you 5 at-bats or more. It's possible he gets you 5 at-bats. You got a leadoff hitter, a guy who could be leading off, getting you 5 at-bats, who smashes righties. Against Munoz, who against lefties has given up a 309 batting average and 10 home runs. I mean, Gunnar Henderson is not a risk. If we're building out this slip with Ozuna over home runs and Santander over total bases, those are the risks because those are demons. Gunnar Henderson is not a risk at this point. Shit. Everything else is at a normal line. So just based off these 5 plays, if you started a slip with just these 2, built it from there, it turns your 5-pick typical 10x into a 23x. Then we pay attention to the 4 out of 5. If we go 4 out of 5, which I think there's a stronger chance of that happening than 5 out of 5. If you put 20 on this one, what is that, 50? If you put 10 on it, that's 30. 10, 20, 25. My math is not good. So $25 to $50 is your payout for 4 out of 5, depending on what you put. I mean, this looks okay. I mean, it's no riskier than any other slip we've built. Let's look at Ozuna's home run, though, because we haven't looked at his information, his odds yet. So Ozuna has 3 home runs in his last 10 games. This game is being played in New York. The wind is blowing in and to the east. My east, your west, I guess. It's possible it changes by the time the game starts. You don't think that wind matters in a game? You don't think that that shit helps the ball carry out? You're crazy. You're crazy. So 310 to go over home, plus 310 minus 475. All right. My bad. 4 home runs in his last 10. So his numbers against Severino, 667 batting average with a single, a home run, and 3 RBIs. One of the better BVPs on the team. Against righties when he's not facing Severino, 23 homers, 289 batting average. So batting average against Severino in 4 at-bats, 667. Batting average against righties, 289. It's pretty good. Home runs are always risky, so find as much positive data as you can that supports the home run play. Maybe it's BVP, maybe it's matchup, against that pitcher. Maybe it's his numbers against, the Mets specifically. Maybe it's numbers on the road. Any edge you can find that helps you make a better decision. So yeah, let's throw them in there. All right, so we got 5 plays in here. Let's see. Kenny Rosenberg over 2.5 earned runs. Let's see. So this one is getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different books favoring the under. So lots of juice on the under from 7 different books. It is a 53% chance to go over 2.5 earned runs versus the Oakland A's. Let's refresh it real quick. Just things changed real quick. Appreciate y'all being here today. This wonderful Thursday morning. Give yourself a round of applause. All y'all look so good. Any fellas in the house today? Give yourself a round of applause. Fellas looking good. Any ladies in the house? Y'all remember those comedians that would spend the first 10 minutes of their set just like doing all that crowd work and shit? Where are the single moms in the house? Oh, give yourself a round of applause. All y'all look so good tonight. Shit goes on and on and on. All right, Corbin under 3.5 strikeouts. This one is, ooh, let's look at that one. Patrick Corbin under 3.5 strikeouts. Now, man, I have a little superstition about taking pitcher props in that 3.5 to 4.5 range. It doesn't mean that it's a bad play. You feel like it's too low. But remember Zach Greinke with his 2.5 strikeout prop 2 seasons ago? Dude finished the game with like 1 strikeout, maybe 2. I mean, you think a major league pitcher is going to go out there and get you 3 strikeouts on a 2.5 line? So Patrick Corbin today, -125 to go under. Holy shit. This is going back to, wow. So holy shit. This guy is 8 out of his last 10 games. He's gone over his strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books like the under on this one. Head to head against the Padres. He did go over in their last game this season. What happened? What's going on this season to last season? Because on the year, he's 60% hit rate going over that 3.5 strikeout line. How many earned runs is he projected for? 4 earned runs. This guy's been giving up a shit ton of earned runs over his last 10 games. 6, 4, 4. 3 strikeouts, and he got 5 strikeouts in the other 2 games. So it really doesn't even matter. There is no correlation between him getting tagged and then not getting strikeouts. Like, they leave him in the game. I mean, he's going over 5 innings in all these games. They're leaving him in the game no matter what's going on. So it's not usually when a pitcher gets tagged, it's a good sign he's going to get pulled out. Not him. I might just stay away from that one, to be honest with you. Not really feeling that one at all. No. Let's see. I think we're playing too many, or we're talking too many pitcher fantasy scores. Damn, here we are all the way back down here at the bottom. Kenny Rosenberg over 2.5 earned runs. Let's take a look at this one. All right, so Kenny Rosenberg over his last 5 starts has given up a total of 12 earned runs, but he's averaging 2.4 in all these games. Today, he's projected to give up just 1.33 versus the Oakland A's. Against the Oakland A's 2 times. 1 time this season, he just gave up 1 earned run. What worries me about this is that Oakland strikes out a lot. Oakland strikes out a lot. So like you can't strike out a batter and give up a run to that batter in the same at bat, right? So you're either striking them out or you're giving up a hit. So if he's striking these dudes out and they're striking out at a 24% rate, the upside for his strikeouts are high. I mean, you can't give up an earned run and strike a batter out at the same time. So, and it's not like his last 10 games, he's been getting rocked, right? I mean, yeah, there are some games in there, 4 out of his last 10 where he's given up 3 or more, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games where he didn't get touched up at all. Man, I don't know about that one. What do y'all think? Should we just leave it at should we leave Corbin in there? Should we take Corbin out? Should we make this a 5 pick? What do y'all think? If we can find another play, we can replace Corbin, or we can just leave it as a 5 pick. Because a couple of those plays I was not feeling. Let's see. Man, I don't see much else. Take Corbin out. That one scares me. All right. So we'll leave it as a 5 pick. We're still getting a really good payout on this one. Let's put 10 on it. Let's put 10 on it. And then let me just share the link in the chat. Yeah, it's a different link. All right, cool. That's 3 slips we built out today. They're all on PrizePicks. If I build out a better slip, it will be on my phone. And then I'll share that link in the Discord. So we got a risky 5 pick here. Okay. So in order for us to cash, we need at least one of these demons to hit, right? Because without one of these hitting, we're not going to cash. Assuming all 3 of these hit, then we just need one demon here for a payout of 2.5, which is 0.5 higher than what we would normally get. Ideally, we want both of these to hit. Good luck. Hopefully this hits. Our research on these 2 players, we like these 2 plays. This Santander is more of a play off Rodri Munoz, who's projected to give up a few earned runs. So Santander and Gunnar Henderson correlate pretty good together, considering they're batting in the top half of that lineup. These 2 will correlate. So if Gunnar Henderson gets on base, and he's still on base when Santander gets on gets up to bat. And Santander gets a double. It's probably going to drive in Gunnar Henderson. So that builds out his fantasy points and it crosses off this total base prop. So there are a few different ways this correlates. Ozuna's numbers against Severino are off the chart, right? 667 batting average, home run, 3 RBIs. His numbers against righties, 289 batting average. So there's a lot to like there. The only one we didn't really look up was Vladdy. We just played this off the optimizer because of the plus EV. You got DraftKings and BetMGM saying that this line should be closer to 7 than 8. So PrizePicks has it too high. So we're just going to take advantage of the discrepancy. Oh, we have another one. Hold on. Oh. So Mackenzie McDonald over 5.5 aces. Now this is a tennis play. Only one other data point. It's on underdog. You're getting it at 5.5 on PrizePicks. You could middle this one. You can play both PrizePicks and underdog and hope that he lands right at 6, and then you would cash out both of those. But outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot. I'm going to build something out on Betr real quick. I'm going to do it on my phone, but I'm going to pull up the OddsJam screen so that way we can look at this together. And what I'm looking for are at least 5 data points that support a play. Garcia. There's another 5 here. Mountcastle. So even though these are on different pick'em sites, we're putting in a lot of Orioles in our slips. We have Santander and Gunnar Henderson in the same slip, but then we got Mountcastle over on Betr going over a single. So if we want to pull this up real quick on props.cash, you can see that he's gotten you 8 singles over his last 10 games. He is projected for 1 base, or here you go, basically 1 base, but going over single prop here. So total base, single. That's 1.5 total bases. We need him to get 1 base for a single. So we like that one. All right, we got De La Cruz here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data points under his hits, runs, and RBIs. Now, we talked about this Rosenberg guy who's pitching for the Angels going over his total runs. I didn't really like that one, but if you have books that are thinking the over on his runs, then you got Shea Langoliers, who plays for the A's, who is projected to go over his hits, runs, and RBIs. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4 books that like the over, all giving you 135 or more. That's a good way to play against Rosenberg without playing a Rosenberg prop. So you pick the batters on the other side if the numbers are there. I want 5 data points, so we may come back to that one. Kiefer Crosby over his takedowns. It's just 1 data point. Let's skip some of these. A Rosarania under a single. That's 5 data points. Rengifo over 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Colt Keith over his singles. There's 5 data points. All 5 points are 135 or higher. So that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want one more. In my opinion, the best payouts on Betr are the 5 picks. And then, believe it or not, I think the next best payouts are for the 8 pick. It's hard to get 8 out of 8. It's hard to get 7 out of 8. But the payouts are more profitable long term versus a 6 pick, which is 20x and just a 1x. Those are probably some of the worst payouts in the industry for a 6. So if Betr can adjust their payouts for their 6 pick to reflect what PrizePicks and Underdog is doing, I mean, there would be very few reasons to not like playing on Betr once they start fixing some of these little bugs. So here's Santander again. We got Santander going over his total bases as a demon prop in our PrizePicks play, our PrizePicks slip. And now we have him on Betr at 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs with 5 data points. Unfortunately, I don't believe Betr is going to allow us to put 2 Orioles in our lineup. I don't know if we're going to be able to correlate that. We can. Okay. So I think I might roll with this one. So we got 5 plays in here. It's not the best plus EV slip. I understand that. But let's look at some of the correlation we have here. We got Santander and Mountcastle that correlate really well going over this. We got Brian De La Cruz going under his hits, runs, and RBIs. Colt Keith going over single, and Luis Garcia going under his hits, runs, and RBIs. So unfortunately, I can't just click a button and it goes to a Betr app. I have to actually manually put this lineup in, but I'm gonna leave it up here on the screen. Hopefully you can see that. And if you're playing on Betr, you can just throw that in a slip if you want. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I got Santander, I got Mountcastle in there. We're gonna go Luis Garcia under his hits, runs, and RBIs. Does he not play for the Washington Nationals? There he is. De La Cruz under his hits, runs, and RBIs. And there you go. And Colt Keith going over his singles today. Something that you can do on Betr. I've played this type of lineup before, but if you're getting a lot of players from the same team that are grading out well, it depends on the prop, but you can put multiple single props in the same slip for the same team. So for instance, if you like the Orioles bats and you had single lines for Santander, Gunnar Henderson, Mountcastle, O'Hearn, you can put, I think, 3.5 over 0.5 single lines in the same lineup. That's some really good correlation. And not every pick'em site is going to let you do that. In fact, I don't think any will let you do that. So we're just going to look up this Brian De La Cruz hits, runs, and RBIs. Minus 135 to go under. His numbers against Corbin Burns are nasty. Corbin Burns is not letting this guy do much. He's 0 for 6. He has not struck out, so he's putting the ball in play, which is good for him. But an out is an out. Outside of Corbin Burns, De La Cruz, is hitting righties at a 221 average with 13 homers. So even though it's not Corbin Burns, his numbers aren't that strong. He's batting better against lefties for that lefty righty matchup, but against Corbin Burns is nasty. So that supports the under. I know this looks good. I know this all looks good, but pitcher matchup is also something to consider. So we're getting good odds across these books. But we also on the optimizer, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different books that like the under, and all 6 of these are giving you -135 or greater odds for the under. So all that juice is on the under. So we're just going to follow that data. It is also something that I like to do. I do like to dig into the statistics after looking at the play on an optimizer, because I want to understand what goes into making that play good or bad, positive or negative. So that's just for my benefit. The other one was Toby Keith. Rest in peace. So we were looking at the over on a single. So he has gone over his single line in 50% of his last 10, 60% of his last 5. He is projected for 0.65 singles today, with -130 odds for the over. So Bet, NGM, and Caesars like this over. And then when we hop back on over to the optimizer and scroll, we see that Colt Keith has 5 different data points that like the over, -135 to the over singles for him. So again, we're getting a lot of good support. Yeah, I think that's a good 5 pick. I think that's a good 5 pick right there. I just shared this in the Discord and tagged everybody. So if you're in the Discord, you'll see it. And that's a Betr slip we just built out. Just built that out on Betr. Hold on, actually. Hold up. Hold up, screw. Here you go. There's the Betr. There's a link to Betr right there. So just copy and paste that into your browser. Well, fuck. You can't. You got to do it from your phone. It's a mobile app. So if you don't have the Betr app on your phone, then you're definitely not playing on Betr. That's the only way you can play. So if you want to play that slip, and you're not already on Betr, then scan that QR code, sign up on Betr, get a first time deposit match up to $250, and then click that link and play that lineup. There you go. That's what you can do. So we built out 4 slips today. We built out 3. We built out 3 on PrizePicks. We built out 1 on Betr. And I think we're good for today. Yesterday, I posted a YouTube short in the afternoon. And I covered 3 different plays from 3 different pick'em sites. So very similar to what we do on the stream, but just a very condensed version. It featured 3 plays that we did not talk about on the stream. So if you want more plays in the afternoon when more value opens up, make sure you're subbed up to the channel. Make sure that you have the notification icon clicked, so that way when I do post something new, you don't miss it. So the 3 plays that I talked about in that short were under Justin Steele fantasy points on PrizePicks. He went under Brenton Doyle hitter fantasy score on underdog. He crushes that. He had 29, I think. And then the only one that didn't hit, wouldn't you know it, fucking Shohei Ohtani took the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. It was also the promo 0.5 total bases that correlated really well with that one. So 2-1 with those picks in the afternoon. So in addition to the picks that we give out on the stream, if you want more picks, check out the shorts that'll be posted in the afternoon. But you're gonna miss them if you don't have your notification icon clicked. So make sure that shit's clicked. But outside of that, any other player prop questions that you guys have? Any last minute requests to look up a player prop before we jump off the stream? If you're just joining the stream, thank you, but you're about 90 minutes late. But scroll through the stream and find the links to the slips that we build out. There's Betr. There's PrizePicks. There's my eBay page if you want to take a look at my cards. There's another PrizePicks right there. And there's another PrizePicks. So 3 PrizePicks slips, 1 Betr slip, 4 slips today. Appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate y'all stopping by the channel. Live stream tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Another reason to have your notifications on, because once these are scheduled out, you'll know it in advance and you won't miss out on the next live stream. La Liga. I don't know where to find you. How do I private message somebody? Do I got to look you up on YouTube? Are you a sub on my channel? I got to look you up on YouTube. You're going to make me work. We'll connect. Don't worry. We'll connect. We'll chop it up. We'll talk some cards. Appreciate y'all being here today. Hit that like button on your way out if you haven't done so already. Make sure those notification bells are turned on. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with another player prop talk live stream, and this afternoon with another YouTube short going over some value from the Odds Jam Fantasy Optimizer. Appreciate y'all being here once again. And until we see each other again tomorrow morning, Chavez is out.